Will Scheder, and Bailey Boutin.
Hi, my name is Will Scheder. I am the current Speaker of the Senate and will soon be the Vice President. I study poli-sci and environmental science.
Hi, I'm Bailey Boutin, and I am the transitioning Speaker of the Senate, former Speaker Pro Temp. My major is music education. I'm a second year this year.
And I'm Colin Nygren. I am a second year here studying political science and professional communications. Today we are here to answer some questions that our peers have for us about what is going on at the university. Today we want to address the student about the key problems and concerns that many of our peers have been having this semester and answer any questions that you may have. This semester has been anything but normal. COVID has rocked every single one of our lives. As we go into our 9th month of dealing with this pandemic stateside, we have become accustomed to uncertainty, mask wearing, and social distancing. We know you are tired of hearing these things, but this is not the time to end our efforts. Wearing a mask and social distancing is the best way to protect yourself and others. We as pointers have taken it upon ourselves to follow the CDC guidelines to keep our case levels at a manageable level. This is proven effective, and we must keep doing these things until our scientists can find a way to defeat this virus that has taken the lives of too many. With the holidays coming up, we urge students to think about who they are in contact with and caution those who are traveling to places and seeing people outside of their normal bubble. Before you leave your bubble, please get tested. There are many free options on campus that take less than an hour to get your results back. It is also strongly recommended to quarantine 2 weeks before you travel to somewhere else and quarantine 2 weeks after you come back. We all need to work together to slow the spread of this deadly virus. If you do not want to do it for yourself, do it for your parents, your elderly grandparents, your sisters and brothers, your nieces and your nephews. Set a good example for everyone around you. Now, if you do travel for the holidays and are returning to campus, the Chancellor is requiring everyone to get tested once before you leave campus and twice within the first week of your arrival back in the area. Taking the time to get tested and following the university and CDC guidelines are the best gifts you can give to your loved ones this holiday season. Because of the pandemic, our learning environment looks different from what we are all used to. I want to let every student know that student government is listening to your concerns. We are fighting for you, and we are working on things to make this semester run better for everyone. Student government has met with the leaders of the university and faculty leadership to discuss your concerns and develop a plan for next semester. These plans include a more standardized format to Canvas and use of the Canvas calendar for assignments, as well as changes to Honor Lock. Instructors are also being told to give students a consistent schedule when posting assignments and to be accommodating when students are sick. Both faculty and staff are here to help, and they want to see you succeed. Students should communicate with their professors when unforeseen circumstances arise or if assistance is needed. In addition, students should also talk with their advisors about class load for the next semester and should be realistic given the world we are living in. We show respect for one another by doing these things. If you are still having concerns with a professor, please reach out to them or a faculty member in your department or college. Overall, this semester has been hard on everyone, from students to professors to staff. We need to give one another some grace and understanding in these difficult times. I am asking for every pointer to do their part to continue to make this university great. If we do this together, we will come out stronger than ever before. I would like to take this time now to answer any questions that our students have for us. So the first question is, what are some issues will you be addressing during your term, and how are they similar or different to my predecessors? I guess the main thing that I want to focus on is rebuilding some lost relationships that we've had. We had kind of an uneasy and difficult time with faculty and staff and students as well, and I think just rebuilding those lost relationships and rebuild that trust is something that we can do to do that. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, other than like, it's unfortunate that McNamara decided to resign, but he had a lot of good ideas for rebuilding faculty. He was more interested in kind of rebuilding relationships within SGA, and I feel like that has been accomplished at this point. So now it's time to move from outside of SGA and get our name out there is what I'm interested in. Because I feel like a lot of students don't really see us a lot, and they don't know that we in fact are here to help them and do work for them. So that's what I want to do.
Alrighty. The next question is, what is the top complaint we have heard from students, and how do we plan to address it?
Sure, I have an answer for that. So some of the most consistent issues that I've seen and heard from, and I think we all have in student government, is like a few things like workload and communication with their professors, and some professors not being accommodating and things like that. And what I have to say to that, and what we've been going around and having conversations with people, is reach out to your professor, and if that doesn't work, if they're not being accommodating, which sometimes happens, reach out to department heads and chairs and stuff like that, and see if you can fix the problem there. But sometimes as a student, you're kind of uncertain about reaching out to these people, and seriously, like, that's what student government's for. Reach out to us, and we can have those conversations for you, or and we can find out how to take care of that. And that's kind of where we're at. And with workload and stuff like that, we're always in conversations, especially during this pandemic, on how to make the student experience better, and how to exactly, because there's it takes time to find the perfect process, and we're not, can't blame anybody. So it's important to have conversations like that, and that's what we're currently doing.
Alrighty. The next thing that we have is, how is dining going to look these next few semesters?
I could take that one. So I can tell you that next semester, the declining meal balance plan that we have right now is going to be the same thing they're going to have next semester. Originally, the plan this year was to change it to a meals per week plan. That idea was pushed back a year or two because of the coronavirus, so dining wanted to give students as much flexibility as possible during this kind of challenging time. I cannot tell you, I don't think the decision's been made for what it's going to look like next year. I think it really depends on what happens with coronavirus. So if we can get this under control over the summer, what's probably going to happen is a meal per week plan or a meal per month plan where you swipe in and get certain credits for meals. But if coronavirus is still a very huge issue next semester, I guess not next semester, but next year, then it will probably still be a declining meal plan. So that's what I would plan for.
How is the student organization budget proposal process going to change to meet COVID restrictions? What should orgs be mindful of when preparing to propose their budget?
Okay. So I would say for that, what's going to happen is the student org presentations are going to be via Zoom to the SUFAC body that makes those decisions. And then what's going to happen is SUFAC, that committee, is going to deliberate in person, social distance, to make it easier. But what's more important for student organizations is to keep in mind that my guess right now, and there has been no official word from the UW system, which makes these decisions, but my guess is that there's probably still going to be restrictions on travel and other essential spending type of things. So I would plan for that in your budget requests, because if you have travel, you might not be able to utilize that like you weren't able to utilize that this year. And so just plan for that so that when we're making those decisions, we can let you have money where you guys need it for the COVID times.
Alrighty. On top of the budget proposals, UWSP student orgs have had to go through the process of switching their SFO accounts to US bank accounts. Many student organizations have had a lot of trouble given the short time frame, confusing terminology, and the lack of responses from certain necessary individuals. Many organizations are worried they will lose their funds since SGA will be claiming them if they don't create an account by the deadline. The question is, are we planning on addressing this at all, and do we plan to expand the deadline?
Sure. As a treasurer myself for a student org, I didn't personally experience any huge issues in the transfer from the SFO account to US Bank, but if there are people out there who are struggling with this, definitely I want to hear about it. So what I am personally going to do is have some conversations with people, see what we can do about that, because that's not, you didn't ask to, as a treasurer or as a student org, you didn't ask for that to happen, so you shouldn't have to be penalized. So these are conversations that we're going to have to see what we can do, but I know from talks with Will Scheder that if it's a structural policy, there's not too much we can do, so we're going to have conversations like that to see what can happen and where we're at.
Yeah, this was a university level policy, so SGA did not make this decision, but I know that like we're not looking to claim your budgets. There's not much we can do with that money anyway. It would just sit in an account and not be used. So we'd rather not have to claim your budgets. So I would recommend that if you're having issues, reach out to our budget director, Lucy Delane, who you should know. If you're a treasurer, you should know who that is. If you're having trouble reaching her, she's had a very stressful semester. A lot has been going on in her personal life. So if you're having trouble reaching her, then reach out to one of us, and we will point you in the right direction.
You could also call the SGA office or just email the SGA account. I've had countless amount of people just calling the presidential office, just asking me questions regarding SGA budget stuff, and I feel good being a resource to people that need help.
Yep, we're here for you. So.
Alrighty. We do not have any other questions. What are the top 3 things that we plan to do with our platform?
Oh, well, we just got that one. So I would say that my number one thing is I really want to work on rebuilding those relationships across campus that we have not been doing a very good job of keeping maintained. So we can't do our jobs for you if we aren't able to keep our relationships up with faculty and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be working on for the foreseeable future. And then there's also making sure that you guys get as awesome of an academic and educational experience as possible, because this year it's been very hard. We've been in talks with Common Council and with the faculty and with the administration about how to change things next semester. So I can tell you there will be changes next semester to academics that are going to be coming through and should hopefully make things easier than they were this semester.
I think one of the big main focuses that we need to be head on with is just rebuilding those relationships with faculty as well, because we did end up losing some trust from them, and it's just something that we need to do. And I know we have written a couple statements with Common Council as well. So the next question is, how has COVID-19 changed how SGA will operate? We have been, in previous years we would run the Senate meetings every Thursday at 6:15 up here in the DUC, but now with COVID, obviously we are meeting via Zoom. Still 6:15. If you are interested in attending some of those meetings just to see what it's all about, you are more than welcome to do so. You could just reach out to either one of us, but the link is always posted, I believe, on our website. What else? Do you have anything else that's changed?
No, it's just everything that we used to do in person is via Zoom now. So it's in a lot of ways it's easier for students to participate. All the meetings we have, or at least almost all the meetings we have, are open meetings. So if you really have something to say, there are spots on the agenda for you to come and talk to us.
We also do have our office in the DUC right across from the case desk. We have limited amount of people that can be in the office at one time, but if you do have any questions, just knock on the door, and then we are more than welcome to come on out and speak to you privately if you need to do that. What is the plan to rebuild faculty relationships? Well, we've been working with them. We attend some of the Common Council meetings and executive meetings as well. We have worked to pass some joint legislation, if you want to talk about it.
Yep. So we worked on 2 things. So we worked on a joint statement that was sent out to the university last Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a joint statement last Friday that SGA and all the administration and Common Council worked on. And then we also were part of a working group, joint working group between students and faculty that made the recommendations to hopefully make next semester go smoother. But I think what happened was just a bunch of miscommunication, and we didn't give each other the grace that we should have on both sides, And I think going forward, we're going to make sure that we do that. And that's the most important part, because I feel like relationships kind of broke down because we weren't giving each other the grace and recognizing that it's been a hard semester for all of us combined and not just, either or. And we got to remember that, we're in this together, right, essentially.
We can't be placing the blame on faculty or staff, or we can't be placing the blame strictly on students, because it's all of us that are having issues. And I just think if we're all collective and are more understanding, we'll be able to rebuild our relationships. We have another comment from Frogman. How do you plan to stay in contact with students and hear their voices? I know a couple weeks back, the former President McNamara had some listening sessions that people were able to attend just to hear some student concerns. But we have also been paying attention to the UWSP admitted students pages like on Facebook, just paying attention, seeing what people have to say. And there is definitely a lot of talk in those groups. We gathered around like hundreds and hundreds of comments just from one post, just seeing what students are having issues with. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything?
Yeah, we're trying to put ourselves out there for you guys to come and talk to us. So if you, and I'm stressing this, if you have an issue and you want to come talk to us, shoot us an email, come to our meetings, private message us on Facebook, something, because we want to know what's going on so we can help you.
We also have a social media platform, so if you want to check us out on Instagram, you can, UWSP SGA. You can even look us up on Facebook if you want to reach out to us that way. We have another comment from Peyton Anderson. Are there any plans or concerns regarding SGA's relationship to other organizations and the student body?
Yeah, I can talk about that. Why not? I know that, especially last year, we didn't necessarily have the best relationships with certain student organizations because, there were mistakes that were made. But on the agenda now, this is a new thing this year, there is a specific line on the agenda for student organizations to come talk to us. You are our constituents. We work for you. So if you have issues with us, tell us, or tell somebody that you trust within SGA to tell us for you. Because we want to help you, and if we're not doing things correctly, we want to know.
Yeah, I mean our meetings are always filled with a lot of speakers. So if you have concerns as an organization, there are plenty of people there to help and assist you answer those questions. We always have, not always, but Troy Seppelt, the Dean of Students, is always there to hear from you. He always gives us an update. So if you have questions, not specifically just for us, but for other people through faculty and administration as well, they are also there to answer those questions. Mm-hmm. We have a comment from Florence Anderson. UWSP has always been a green campus. How do you plan to continue that?
I guess I'll take it. We have been gifted with two last year, and in my experience, I've only been at SGA for 2 years. But last year we had a very good environmental director. This year we also have a very good environmental director, and we have fantastic relationships with the Office of Sustainability. And we have been working on directives to make the campus greener. For example, last year we got rid of the boxed water, which we found out could not be recycled, and replaced it with the metal water bottles in all dining locations, which are actually recyclable. And reusable for that matter. So if you buy one, you can just keep filling up with water. I think that UWSP has always been a very green campus, and the administration and the faculty and the students largely support those initiatives. But if you have any ideas for how we can be even greener, reach out to the Office of Sustainability or reach out to our environmental director, and she can help you with that. Her name's Morgan, wonderful person, very friendly, and she'll help you with that if you have any ideas.
Sure, and I just want to add to that. A lot of students aren't aware of this, and that's what we're trying to fix. The Green Fund, it's a committee. A lot of people in SGA sit on it, and it specifically talks about people come, there's administration. It's made for students to come with their ideas how to make this campus greener. So you can come and you can give us your proposal and your idea and your plan on what you want to do exactly, and the Green Fund can help you fund that and help you get that started.
When do we typically meet, Bailey?
Oh yes. Currently, it's Fridays at noon, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, Fridays at noon. Always stop in. It's also a public committee, and otherwise, reach out to Morgan Benjamin Eade, the
environmental director.
Yes, the environmental director, and great person. And we're always open to new ideas and stuff like that. It's a very cool place. Yeah.
We funded some really cool projects through there. We funded solar panels. We funded electric car charging stations out at Schmeekley.
Weed whackers,
like a steam-powered weed removal thing that doesn't use pesticides, cool. All sorts of stuff. So if you have an idea and it costs money, you don't have the money to implement it, come to the Green Fund and we can help you out with that.
And there also is an application on the Green Fund website, which you can find through uwsp.edu, and then head to the Student Government Association page and just find committees. We have a comment from Wigwag. Should student organizations expect more budget cuts in the coming year due to COVID-19?
I can talk about that as well. So I would say that it's early, so it's hard to tell because we work off of enrollment projections. So essentially the reason that budgets have been continually declining is because our student population has been continually declining. So you pay things called segregated fees. Those are, I like to call them like student taxes. They pay for all sorts of things. They pay for every student org budget. They pay for the health services center, Schmeekly, stuff like that. And we have been collecting roughly the same amount, but because we have less students, we have less money. And so we've had to do continual budget cuts. However, the freshman class that came in this year was much larger than the freshman class that came in last year, and COVID might mess this up, but enrollment projections are projecting that the class next year, the freshman class, is going to be roughly the same size as the freshman class this year. So that means that potentially there may be an end to constant budget cuts to student organizations. They may be flat going forward, and since we're expecting a large sweep of student org budgets that weren't used because of the restrictions that were placed on it by the UW system, that means that we might have more money this year to dole out when it comes to allocations, because we just have more money that came back to us. Now it's early. We won't really know until January or February for sure, but that's what I've been hearing, and I could be wrong, but that's my guess about what's going to happen.
Right. Also not too sure. I mean, we do have quite a bit of incoming students, but it's also the people that plan on staying on campus as well. I know our numbers have gone down quite a bit from students living on campus to off campus, because we were also given the opportunity for first-year students, I believe, first-year and second-year students were also given the ability to live off campus. So if we have that money available,
Yeah, it really depends on what happens with the incoming freshman population. But projections right now are good, and they were good this time last year. So we can hope, and I really hope that we can finally stop doing massive cuts to everybody all the time this year.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add?
There's another one.
No, I think
All
we're
right.
all good.
We have another comment from Frogman. If COVID gets worse going into the new year, what would that mean for students and for students and faculty? I guess if COVID gets worse, I mean, we have been in talks with Tommy Thompson, who is the president of the UW Systems for right now. He doesn't have any strict plans. I know there's all these talks and rumors about if we are going to be able to come back, but right now our set plan is we will come back for next spring. Spring break, however, has been a different topic as well. It's really whenever we get more information. We can't have a set plan, because we don't know how COVID is going to change from here on out. Because obviously, with the holiday season, we most likely will have an influx of positive COVID cases. So it's something that we have to be taking day by day, even though we want to plan it weeks apart. It's just something that we probably won't be able to do.
Yep. So right now the plan, like you said, is this same type of learning model that we have now with asynchronous, synchronous, and in-person classes. The plan right now is to continue that into the next semester. That might change depending on how things go over winter break. We'll see. But I think the most important thing that we as students can do is remember that our actions have consequences. So if a lot of us get sick over the holiday or over spring break because we go places and aren't social distancing and aren't practicing CDC protocols, and a lot of us come back to campus sick, then they will be forced to close the campus down. At that point, you will be forced to move off campus if you enjoy that. No more in-person classes at that point for the rest of the semester probably. So just keep that in mind, that it's a lot of it's on us as students to make sure that we're following our protocols and following the directives and the policies of the university, or we could suffer for that. So just keep that in mind.
It's also for next year as well. If there is some sort of vaccine for this virus, hopefully we might have to keep doing the asynchronous cohort attendance type things for your classes, just because we don't know how things are going to change for next year. We have a comment from Peyton Anderson. Are there any diversity or inclusive movements, implemented movements over the summer due to the BLM movement. I don't know 100%. I know that former President McNamara had released quite a bit of statements over the summer. I'm not too sure how brief or how much he even talked about, but I know there were talks about everything.
Yeah, and I can tell you that SGA is definitely committed to diversity and inclusion. We had a lot of plans over the summer to recognize like a Native American burial ground that the campus is on and stuff like that. The problem was that what happened was our inclusivity director decided that school, like, she got super stressed and dropped out of school, so we didn't have an inclusivity director for like a month or two. I think we just hired a new one, and he's awesome. So hopefully we'll be able to get those plans back in action. I know that there have been some things that campus has been doing. For example, the faculty have a thing called Diversity Council. They're replacing that with a new kind of council that's going to be much more focused on actually finding policies and stuff that are flagged as uninclusive and undiverse and stuff like that. And they're starting those meetings tomorrow. Actually, I think they're having their first meeting about like a policy that has been flagged as non-inclusive, and so I know the university is definitely committed to diversity and inclusivity directives. It's hard to do everything along those lines and also try and make sure the university stays open due to COVID, and then like work with faculty and students to make sure things go well there. It's been a very busy semester.
If there are like any things that the university wants us to be doing, if there's anything that the students want us to be doing in regards to that, they are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to reach out to either one of us or our inclusivity director, Yazid Alan. He does great things, and we could try and pass something and work something out. Our next question comes from Florence Anderson. How are you reaching out to students and such, since we can't have those open public panels? We did have a town hall a couple weeks ago. You can definitely stream that if you want to. That had a lot of our head administration. It had President McNamara when he was here. Were you there as well? Do you want to talk about the panel?
Yeah, so we had a panel with it was the chancellor was there, the vice chancellor Al Thompson was there, Greg Summers, the provost, was there. I was there as the speaker of the Senate at the time, and Colin McNamara was there as the president. And pretty sure there were some common council people there. I can't remember who was all there, but we fielded some questions from the students and faculty about what was going on and how we're going to change for next year. I know that we're going to plan to do more listening sessions, if not this semester, definitely starting next semester again. And I know there will most likely be more town halls and online panels that we're going to be doing next semester. I think it's important, just remember, if you're interested in talking to us and stuff, go to those things or get your friends to go to those things, because the more traffic they have, the more questions we can answer, the more outreach we can get. So we definitely need engagement to make sure those are successful.
We are hearing a lot of concerns right now, but we just need more, I guess. That's why we hosted the town hall, so we could hear more. Like I said earlier, we are looking into the UWSP admitted students pages on Facebook, seeing the problems there, but we just need more. So if you have concerns or questions, don't forget to reach out to us. We do have a question from Renee Wagner, I believe. How would you describe the relationship between the Senate and executive staff? Well, I think we all have a great relationship. A lot of us have been in SGA for quite a while, so we all have a good understanding of how things are supposed to be going. I, for one, love the executive staff. I think they're all very great people, and I have a good time with them. Do you have any statements about the staff?
As the soon-to-be former Speaker of the Senate, who headed all the senators, I think that we were gifted with a very talented and a very active Senate this year, and I think that we've worked well together with the executive staff. In the past there's definitely been some strife, but this year I have not noticed that, and we've worked together very well, I think, and we've done some good stuff, and I am proud of what we have accomplished so far this year, especially considering COVID-19.
And there was a bit of miscommunication from meetings that we've had with faculty and staff, but I'm confident in saying now that I think our relationships are pretty solidified, and I'm pretty sure that we are all comfortable with each other, hoping everybody thinks the same thing, but I believe that we have a good relationship in SGA currently. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, you pretty much covered it. I think just being in the office and being in talks with people, we're pretty consistent, and we work together well.
We have a comment from Florence Anderson, what is the biggest misconception about SGA more students should know about?
I guess I'll start that one. I guess it'd be that like we're also just students. So I'm just a 20-year-old dude who just enjoys this and does it for fun. But I definitely enjoy helping people and like being a leader. So that's why I do this. So I guess just remember that we're just kids like anybody else, trying to figure out our way, and we don't know anything at all. So, but we're here to help you.
I guess another misconception is that we have no power, I guess. Would you say that, SGA?
Yeah, we have real power on campus. So there's in the law, like in state law, we are chartered, like the state law is allowed to have student organizations, and it says that we have to have a say in almost every decision that is made. You know, like for example, on other campuses, student government is not the only people who make decisions for student orgs. It's not just students. In a lot of other campuses, faculty also get a decision there. We have a body called NewFast, which deals with all of like the departments, so health services, athletics, Schmeekly, and that type of counseling center, that type of stuff. A lot of other campuses don't have that. It's purely the administration making those decisions with your money. And here, we make those decisions with your money. So I think that's important to remember.
I think walking into SGA, like my very first, I guess when I first heard about it, I was scared that it was going to be just like a high school student council, you know, blood drive and school dances. But this is actually much more than that, and I'm very proud and very happy to be a part of it. We do have a comment from Wigwag. What is the best way to contact SGA members if we have concerns we would like to address?
I can answer that. There's definitely a bunch of different ways to contact any of us, and you can reach out to any of us personally, but I don't know. Again, you can always come to meetings, they're always posted, and also you reach out to us on Facebook, shoot us emails, we're always on, we're always checking our Outlook, and there's tons of different ways. I mean,
like social media.
Yeah, social media.
I mean, there's
a big one.
Any way on it. I mean, some people don't like it, but you can call me or text me personally. I mean, I put my email and like my phone number in my email signature. I'm fine with that. Facebook message, email, literally anything. As long I just want you to talk to us.
We want to hear from you.
Carrier pigeon, letter,
whatever
smoke
works.
signals,
Whatever
doesn't
works.
matter. Just whatever you want to do.
We have a comment from Renee Wagner. How do I get involved in SGA? So when I first heard of SGA, it was actually through Will Scheder. He came on over to our dorm and was just like, hey man, you want to come over to this Senate meeting, check it out? And we did that. So if you are interested in just seeing what we're all about, you could check our UWSP Student Government Association page. You just look up on uwsp.edu, Student Government Association. We have a lot of descriptions about what we do. We have multiple different things that you could be a part of. We have the senators, which is the legislative branch. We have, we don't have a judicial branch as of right now, but we do have.
You get paid for it.
You would get paid for it. So
for second semester, we really need a chief justice. So if you want to get paid $400 to do like one election thing for a week, hit us up because we need somebody.
Nice. And we also have, what is that? The student interest representative. So if you are interested in being a part of student government and having your voice heard, you are more than welcome to sit on these committees as a SIR. You don't have the same things as.
It's a less time commitment. You sit on one committee instead of like all three of instead of like 3 or 4 committees. So if your interest is hyper focused on inclusivity, or you only care about environmental stuff, you can sit on those committees as a student interest representative, and that's like a way to kind of dip your toe in the water and do it kind of just 1 hour a week and help us out. So
yeah, I just want to say personally, like the least, the most efficient, like the easiest way for me to join SGA and to get my foot in the water is just introduce yourself and get your name in there, and like, because these people want to help and like want you to succeed, and if this is something you're interested in, maybe you don't even know where you want to go or what exactly you want to do, if you want to be a senator, if you want to be a SIR, and we can have these conversations and help you get moving forward and filling out your applications, and yeah, personally that's the best way to do it, but there's many ways.
We're always looking for more people to join. I remember our numbers from last year were relatively high, and this year they're kind of dipping down just due to COVID issues and mental health concerns for for other people, but we are looking for more people to join Student Government Association. So if you are interested in joining, you are more than welcome to reach out to any one of us, email the SGA email on Outlook, and that's really all I have. So I guess with that.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.